Okay, Pete. So let's go over to Pete VU. And Pete is going to be showing us Natalie and Armand's garden in Alameda. This is the before photo. So this is a typical small Alameda
I'm
lot.
here.
Oh, hi, Pete. I'm just doing your
Hi, Kathy.
I'm doing some slides right now. So this is the back garden after photo. And let's see, I think, is it working all right? Hold on just one sec. We're having our own little set of AV issues here. So longtime tour attendees, Natalie and Armand, had tried to design their garden themselves, but they weren't happy with the outcome. This is their before photo in their backyard. And this is the after photo. They finally realized they needed help from a professional. So they hired Pete Bayou from East Bay Wilds to design and install this garden in 2016. Here is their front garden before, and here is their front garden after. If you would be interested in having Pete design and install a native plant garden for you, you will find his contact information under Find a Designer on the website. So this garden contains 90% native plants. And let me go now. Oh, Mike, just one second. I don't know how to get back. Um, all right, just one sec. Stop sharing the screen. Okay, so now there we are with Pete. Hi, Pete. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Welcome, everybody.
So, Pete, will you show us around Natalie and Armand's garden?
Sure. Welcome to the Bringing Back the Natives garden tour. I'm Pete Bayou, and I'm in Alameda at Natalie and Doug's garden. Let's flip around now. Okay. This is the garden today, and so welcome. So we started this job with we built a little driveway here with the pavers and the gravel, permeable driveway. Now in this garden we have a lot of annuals and perennials, forbs, and lots of manzanitas. This was one of our first gardens that we did in Alameda where the soil is really sand. It's very loose sand and there's a very high water table here. And I knew manzanitas loved sand because they always did so well for us in sand. So we used a lot of different manzanitas. Plus, I always do. I love manzanitas. And I'm going to come over here, show you when this starts. Over here, this is a beautiful, elegant Clarkia, it's called. The Clarkia unguiculata, something like that. So pretty. Came up here on the corner. Thought that was so nice. And then the manzanitas. This manzanita is called a sunset manzanita, and it takes pruning very well, and it's a medium-sized one, about 4 or 5 feet tall. And I wanted to show you on it you can see them, the galls. That's the manzanita gall, the red there. And manzanita galls do not hurt the plant at all. You can remove them if you like, but you have to remove them and tie them up in a plastic bag or they'll pop right back on. Behind this, we have a hedge that we made with which the leaves are just coming out now. This is a desert willow, a Chalopsis linearis, and it flowers beautiful big pink blooms in the summertime with a ceanothus behind it. And I'll even show you a couple of containers that we have on the porch here. This first container, it's a shady porch. So in it we have the piggyback plant, the Tomia, something like that, with little violets, with little dog violets underneath it, and it's beautiful foliage in that. And here's just one of my little Dudleya pots, right there with a Munchkin Dudleya in it. I'm looking down, and this what we're looking through, the tree that we're looking through here, is a desert olive, which is also a native from not too far away from here. It's from Mount Diablo and Livermore, and I had no idea that they grew so fast and so large in sand. I've been growing them for years in clay, along with a lot of these things in clay, and they just perform very differently in sand. So it's been a fun learning experience, I'll tell you. And there we have some fuchsias coming out of the asters there. They're not flowering yet, but they will soon. And we'll walk down the little path. Here we have lots of little seed drifts here, which do very well in sand, better than anywhere else I've ever planted them. And the Siskiyou sunflower right here, little Areophyllum lanatum, the woolly sunflowers. And then here we have the Heterophyca. This is a really wonderful butterfly plant, by the way, and nice ground cover too. The San Bruno golden aster is called. Next to it here, we have a very rare lupin, which you may have seen. It's become very popular in the gardens. That's a Cobb Mountain lupin, very silver leaves and purple flowers. Lots of puppies. There's a Pajaro manzanita right there. You can see the different bronzy colors in it, and then the bluish leaves, or the sort of the summer foliage, and then the new foliage comes up all bronzy and red. That one is called Warren Roberts. Here's an Austin Griffith manzanita here. And then we have an interesting plant here. This is a Lepicinia fragrans, or pitcher sage. I'm going to show you the flowers on them. Very pretty flowers. It was covered with them a few days ago. Now they're gone by a little bit, but there'll be more. There'll be lots more. This flowers for a very long time, and it's very fragrant as well. Especially when you touch the leaves, it's very fragrant, like a hummingbird sage almost. And then here we have some creek dogwoods with monkey flowers and lots of clarkias coming up. These are the farewell to spring ones that haven't flowered yet. This is the red twig dogwood right here, which did have a bunch of flowers on it, and they just went by. There's a few little ones there. But red twig dogwood is very pretty, very easy to grow plant. It does require a little bit of water at certain times, but we have a high water table here, so it's not really necessary to water this much at all. But in the wintertime, or in the fall, the leaves turn beautiful shades of coral, and then they all fall, and then the bright bark comes up. And here we have a yellow twig and a red twig together. So you have the bright yellow twigs together with the bright red twigs in the wintertime. It's very attractive year round. Now we're going to make our way to the backyard through the gate here. And there's a plant that we planted. We planted this just, I think, a year ago. This is a Aristolochia, or the Dutchman's pipe vine, or the California pipe vine. You can see this really cool seed pods on them right here. But these are usually pretty slow to get going. But this one is a year old from, I think, a 1 gallon or a 5 gallon, I don't remember. But it's, now you can see it goes all the way down the fence there. It's probably 25 feet long in a single year. So it was pretty fast, I'll tell you. There it is there. Now this is the little side yard that goes into the back garden. These are all flowering currants on the right here. They've gone past their flowering. And now they produce these berries, these kind of a large berry, which is, it's very jelly-like. It doesn't taste like a whole lot. It's not bad, but it doesn't have a lot of flavor, but it's good to cook with because it's a great source of pectin. Underneath it here, we have some columbines, and then I'll show you some more of these later, the Petrolia Pink Spring Beauty, one of our introductions. More columbines, and then here's more of the flowering currants. There's the vine, the Dutchman's pipe vine coming along here. That's a great, that's the nectar source for the morning cloak butterfly, I believe, which is a really beautiful butterfly, but it takes them like 5 or so years to find it. There's a few little flowers still going on this flowering currant right there. And we have some strawberries as a ground cover. And then we have a really pretty little plant here that's going to get as tall as this fence by next year. This is the canyon sunflower, the only sunflower in the world which flowers fully in deep shade. They're in complete shade. And there's Lucy right there. Lucy likes to be part of every video. And then next to it, we have some yerba buena, which is a lot more in the back. We did this little little patio in front of the garage here. They're going to convert the garage into a studio soon. On the corner, we have huckleberry, another plant that loves to be in sandy soils. Right there. See, they put these little signs out. I love this one. If in doubt, paddle out. There's a bunch of little signs that are so cute. Now we're going into the backyard. This is the backyard garden. There was a few existing things. There's a bougainvillea over there. And on this side, we have a giant, I think it's a Lady Banks rose going up the garage. A little fountain there. And then under the fountain there, all those ferns there, that's the southern maidenhair fern. In front of it, we have heucheras. They're the coral bells and hummingbird sages. For sandy soils, hummingbird sages are amazing too. We just put these in a couple months ago, but they will spread really fast and get very large quickly in sandy soils. That's what they do. We have some, there's more of the Petrolia Pink Spring Beauty coming out of a California fuchsia here. See it there? And then over it is there's a couple of Eriogonum arborescens, or the Santa Cruz Island buckwheat. And here's another little spill fountain we did. That's there. And at the base of it, there's a big patch of yerba buena, which is in flower now. And next to it, we have a local endangered species, which is the Colville's lip fern, right there. Really pretty evergreen fern. There's the yerba buena in flower. In the back, there's more coral bells. It's a really lovely one there called Wendy, that one. And the background shrub is a coffee berry, which is also in flower. I'll show you the flowers. They're not all that, they're not much for us to look at, but I'll tell you, the critters just love them. There's always all these little wasps and things flying around them. And those little wasps are really important because if you have done any of the integrated pest management, you'll find that those little wasps, they feed on a lot of the things that feed on our plants. So they're very important for the garden. So the flowers, although inconspicuous for us, are very conspicuous for the plants. I can look down into the fountain. There we are. Very simple fountain. Great. And there's more yerba buena at the base of this fig. This fig was here before too. So I made this little patio here. It's a little dry laid stone patio. Here's another one of her signs that she just put up. I think it's really cute. This one says, in front of one of my containers with Louisia and Dudleya, the sign says, Daisy, what kind of garden do you come from? Alice, oh, I don't come from any garden. Daisy, do you suppose she's a wildflower? Lewis Carroll from Alice in Wonderland. That was cute. Next to the Santa Cruz Island buckwheat there is the hybrid blue curls, which the most beautiful flower in California, I think, is the woolly blue curls. But it's difficult to grow in the garden, but it's doable, but it can be difficult. This one is very easy and gets very big and flowers forever. See it here. Is that pretty clear? I assume it is. I hope.
Sorry, yes, there was a little delay because I have to unmute. It was clear. Hold still for just a sec. Why don't you grab one flower and then let it freeze on it, because there's always a little lag time for us to be able to focus. So hang on. I'm going to tell you when it snaps into focus right now. It just came into focus.
And if I may chime in, Pete, if you talk a little bit about the requirements of these plants, like,
sure.
Water, pruning, whatnot.
Okay. There's not much requirements, but they do require, of course, water to establish, just to get established. But all the plants that we've used here are pretty much good on rainwater alone. Although the ribes, until their roots get down into the water table, the flowering currants there, they need to have irrigation once a week, just for a few minutes. This is the Midnight Magic Blue Curls, and this is, you can cook with this. And an interesting fact is that it's our native rosemary. It's very closely related to rosemary, and the leaves are somewhat like a sweet rosemary on the woolly blue curls and this one. This is called the Midnight Magic one. It's a beautiful plant. We have lots of buckwheats in this yard too that come up by seed, and they've seeded all over the place. We ended up having to remove a lot of them. They're not flowering yet, but they will soon. Underneath the red bud right here, we have a western red bud, and underneath we have some Siskiyou sunflowers in bloom. See, they have the pretty white leaves that make a nice little carpet with the yellow flowers on them. The Midnight Magic, we didn't realize was going to get so big so quickly, but underneath it, there's quite a few flowers that are going to stick their flowers out soon. A lot of summer blooming flowers here. And then here we have a few spring blooming ones. There's a nice little mix of the Siskiyou sunflowers, the beach daisies, and some penstemons. Nice blue penstemons. Here's the beach daisy. This one is called Bountiful, which has large blooms and lots of them on it. And then there's the Siskiyou sunflower. Is it in focus?
Yeah, pretty good.
So.
It is, Pete. Sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
It took me a moment to unmute.
Okay. This is a nice sculpture here too, that a Shiva head that I found somewhere. I collect garden stuff, garden tchotchkes. So I like to use those in my gardens. Sometimes this one works out well here. Here's a manzanita that we actually had to replant for some reason. One of the things that was really fascinating for me here was the ceanothus, the way ceanothus works in sand. It stays so much smaller and it's so much slower to grow. Just the opposite of manzanitas. Manzanitas tend to get really big really fast. And ceanothus, which usually are really fast and big, stay much smaller here. We discovered while working here. In the back there's also the fuzzy little leaf down there that's it's called the cotton batting plant. Let's see if I can come up to it. It's right there. This is a really good one for butterflies, for the American lady butterfly. By summer though, that thing will come up quick now and get to about a foot high, and then the butterfly larvae, the caterpillars, will eat it to the ground, and very quickly after that you'll have butterflies flying around your garden. So, and here's underneath here, we had to replant this section here because of some work that was being done. But we have a native abutilon right here. This is abutilon pomerai, or the desert abutilon, or desert maple, it's also called, that has orange flowers in the summer, and that will get quite large here too, along with this ceanothus eventually, and some monkey flowers. And then if you look down here, this is a very shady side of the house here. I wanted to show you, this is a really nice, of the Petrolia Pink flower, Spring Beauty. And these form really, in shady areas, they flower like crazy, and they form total solid, like little hedges that come up in the winter time and flower through to about midsummer, and then they die back and come back in the fall. So, and then we have a vine planted on the fence there. That's the orange honeysuckle, which a lot of people don't realize is a California native as well, from far northern California. Some more coral bells here. And then this is a rare manzanita. This one is called the Morro Bay manzanita, Moroensis. This is the compact form of it, but it has very pretty leaves and gets some beautiful colors in the summer. Is that pretty in focus there?
If you hang on just a second, pick a spot and just stay there and freeze.
Okay, I'll do that.
Your Zoom, it takes a moment to come into focus. So hang on, I'm going to tell you when. I say right about now it's come into focus, so we can enjoy this manzanita.
Okay.
It's very pale, isn't it?
Yeah, this one turns whiter and whiter as towards the summer, and it gets very, very white in the summertime with little pink leaf buds. Very pretty. And here's the seeds on it, the berries, the manzanitas. You can see that. Okay, now I'm going to go around the garden again. The red bud will eventually be the shade tree for this little patio area, but for now it's in a lot of sun. There's huckleberries over in the corner, and then there's the little scene with the southern maidenhair fern and the more heucheras. So the Santa Cruz Island buckwheat is this shrubby buckwheat right here, which will be starting to flower soon. You can see the buds coming up, and some of them are beginning to even open a little bit. You can see them there. I hope that's in focus.
I can. That's nice. And yeah, that was good, Pete. Whoops, did we just lose you? Nope, there we go. Yeah, that's very pretty, Pete. Do we still have audio with you, Pete?
Oops, what happened?
I don't know, but we've got you back again. So we have a couple more minutes, Pete, if you want to tell us anything.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Okay, good. Yes, I can. I don't know why it went off, but okay, what else was I? Oh, there's another desert olive in the background there coming up. The one in the front, I like to have something that screens off the front entry just a little bit where you can see through it if you try, but but it doesn't, you're not fully exposed when you come out of your house either. So, I like how it grew up very quickly and helped us with that. Now the manzanitas will slowly catch up. So there's Lucy's place in the shade. One of my little garden tchotchkes guarding the staircase. Oh, here's one more little of her beautiful little signs. Can you read that? Just when the caterpillar thought that the world was over, it became a butterfly.
Oh, that's very sweet. Well, I think on that note, we will thank you for showing us this beautiful garden. So Pete is also the owner of East Bay Wilds Native Plant Nursery. So if you need a design consultation, installation, maintenance, or plants, he's the guy to call, and you can find him on the Garden Tours website under both Find a Designer under Pete Bayou and also under Find a Nursery under East Bay Wilds.